Hello everybody, welcome to Paper Reviews with me, your host Jack. We're still here in Chicago doing some beer reviews while we're here. And we're going to move along to a beer that I picked up in a trade with friend Jose, who made one beer out here. He's hooked me up with some crazy beers, and this one in particular is New Glarus from Wisconsin, and this is their Imperial Weizen from their kind of thumbprint series of stronger beers, clocking at a nice 9.6% ABV. And it says on the side that it started off with 20 original Plato, which is, I think it's 1083, I guess, standard gravity for those brewers in the UK, I suppose, who used to using gravity rather than Plato. So it starts off pretty cool, pretty nice and strong, and pretty sweet. So if you don't know about New Glarus, they only pretty much distribute inside Wisconsin. So to be able to get one of these, in general, it's quite difficult unless you head to Wisconsin. But they have a good reputation for doing some cool beers. They're a nice hoppy little wheat beer. I think it's called Hoppy. Goes down really well. People like that a lot. So it's cool to be able to pick up one of their beers, and Jose's kind of really hooked me up with this because you just can't find it, at least where we are in Chicago. So let's pull this beer one out and see what we have. As I say, it's an Imperial Weizen from like their kind of experimental range. It's designed to have a bit more of a kind of hot bite to it than your average wheat beer, and also kind of a lot stronger, as you might imagine, than your average wheat beer too, which is kind of cool. So do we call it a Weizenbock? I don't know. It's interesting at least. So pouring out, I'm not surprised to say there's a lot of carbonation with it, as per usual with wheat beers. There's loads of carbonation. I don't have a wheat beer glass, but it'd be cool to have one in it, but a wine glass will do, right? Nice yeasty haze to it. There's actually quite a lot of sediment in it as well. You might be able to see some floating bits of yeast heading around they've come out of solution and it hasn't really gone back in. But it does say they use a Bavarian Weiss yeast in this, but it's pretty clear apart from those little bits of clumps of yeast. I have to give it a bit more of a swirl, and we'll chuck some in and see what we have. So let's try that. Ooh. It seems to be coming through more as clumps than anything else, which is interesting to say the least. Usually it doesn't drop out so much. But hey ho, nice big fluffy white head from all the carbonation in it, which is as per style, looking pretty swish. Good colour to it as well. It's got kind of a deeper copper colour to it, which is like a few shades darker than your average wheat beer as well. So let's get a nose in there and see what we can smell. Ooh, hello. Interesting. It's got like a cherry sort of thing going on. It's got an interesting nose. It's kind of clovey. You can smell the kind of like the bubble gum and the kind of clove nose from the Weiss yeast, but there's like a something else. Maybe it's the dry hopping. I know it's dry hop with Cascade, but it smells kind of like cherry juice to me. But there's definitely a different edge to it. Something kind of fruity, but I'd say much more kind of the dark, deeper fruits like plums and cherries than particularly hopping. But it's definitely got an interesting aroma. Yeah, definitely an interesting aroma. Let's give it a try, shall we? Cheers, everybody. Nice and thick and chunky. It's quite a lot of flavour from, I'd say quite a lot of malt characteristics in it. I can taste quite a lot of sweeter, particularly kind of toffee notes in there. And then there's this like interesting cherry and clovey and phenol. That banana and bubblegum comes through as well. I'm thinking that kind of cherry note that I'm getting is probably some kind of like citrusy, cascadey, dry hopping notes coming through, but mixing with the other flavours. It's just, for me, coming across tasting kind of like cherry juice, which is an interesting flavour and kind of complements and works the beer actually. I quite like that. There's quite a bit of booze on it as well. I can feel it down the throat and into the belly as well. The nice big kick of alcohol and the kind of warming sensation from that. But it is definitely interesting. I haven't really had kind of like a dry hops or a kind of hoppy. Well, no, I've had hoppy wheat beers before, that's a lie, but not in this kind of sense, I suppose, like a big imperial strength and using special yeast and bits and bobs of the Bavarian Weiss yeast, I suppose. It's certainly interesting and it's different, and it's not like other wheat beers that I've kind of had previously. And that's pretty much all I can say about it, to be honest. It's one that you'll definitely have to go out and pick up and try. I'd love to hear what people think of this one. If you, I know, just having spent 5 minutes saying Wisconsin's, got to go to Wisconsin to get this sort of stuff. But it's certainly interesting, worth some time, some thought into it, because I'm getting like cherry juice mixed in with a Hefeweizen. It'd be nice to know what other people think about it. Certainly one to keep an eye out for. Got a good reputation, nice strong beer, one to take home, right? So please like, favourite, comment and subscribe. And until the next beer review, cheers everybody.